Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Well, I'm Tim Stanovic along with Carol Masser. Let's take a look at some stocks on the move. Today, we are joined now by Bloomberg News cross-asset reporter Emily Griffeo. Emily, you got a lot to choose. You had a lot to choose from in today's session. What caught your eye?
I did. And I picked like the most talked about stock on Wall Street, but it moved up a lot today. I'm talking about shares of Nvidia, the chip company. It was up as much as 6.7% after CEO Jensen Huang announced the company will send semiconductors to Saudi Arabian AI company Humain for a data center build out. So data centers, that's a really big area for any companies focused on AI because you need data centers to power AI processes. And this is all part of a Trump administration initiative that lifts previous restrictions on shipping advanced AI capabilities to the region.
Just going to say, right, Jensen there, he announcing it, right, at the Saudi U.S. Investment Forum in Riyadh. So down on the ground with the president and some other, top business leaders. But that was a pretty big announcement.
Yeah, it was. And the Trump administration is, at least according to Bloomberg's reporting, they plan to overhaul regulations on the export of semiconductors used in AI. This is a big win for companies like Nvidia because they're tossing out a Biden-era approach that had a lot of objections from U.S. allies and companies, including Nvidia.
All right. Can we talk about...
You own Coinbase. You own Coinbase. You own Coinbase.
You own crypto. You own crypto. You own crypto.
Well, I will say, Emily, you go ahead and then, I'll annoy Carol Masser.
This is definitely one of the mega winners in today's session.
It is.
Mega gainers, I guess
Coinbase.
I should say. If you were shorting it, you didn't feel like you were a winner.
No. But if you were long it, or if you're trying to get in on the trade before it's actually added into the S&P 500, you made some money today. The stock was finished the day up 24%. It was announced after the close yesterday that this company is being added to the S&P 500 index, the world's arguably most famous index. This is the first crypto company to be added to the S&P. So it's a big milestone. All of the Coinbase execs, Brian Armstrong, he kind of tweeted like a victory lap. So go look at his tweets on Twitter or X. But yeah, this is a lot of what we're seeing now is what traders call the index effect.
Yeah. So
they anticipate that passive funds that have to track the S&P 500 closely will actually have to buy the stock on the day it gets added to the index. That's not for another week. So a lot of hedge funds, arbitrageurs will try and buy the stock before that, anticipating that there'll be a lot of buying in a week.
I mean, prior to this, the stock was down a lot.
Yeah. It's been kind of a wild ride for crypto this year because these companies were supposed to do really well after Trump won the election. They obviously now are with this stock up a lot and being added to the S&P 500, but it was not a straight line up. It hasn't been a straight line up since
I'm just looking at the forever chart.
Yeah.
Going back to 2021 for this company.
A heart chart.
Maybe it even goes back to all the way to, early 2021.
Yeah.
It's still 28% off of the all-time highs that it reached back in November of 2021.
Yeah, it depends how you look at it. Because over the last 2 years, it's up something like 270%.
I know.
Depending on when you got in.
It's just one of those, you can dice and slice at different points, right? And get a different picture. Let's talk about Super Micro, because that also surged in today's session.
Yes. So that stock was up at least over 8% at one point on the day. I'm just getting that to load. Yeah, it actually finished the day up 16%. They had an outperform rating at Raymond James. So they initiated coverage at Raymond James. The broker said Super Microcomputer has emerged as a market leader in AI optimized infrastructure. I mean, that's kind of all you really need to hear.
All in.
They set a price target of $41, which now with today's rise, it's pretty close to that. So maybe Raymond James is going to have to come back and up that price target because now the stock is at almost $39.
The Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.